Hello everyone again. This is going to be for Film 1, Modern Marvels with the topic of paint. I chose the question, what is paint, what is the components, and what is the function? So off back, by definition, paint is a liquid composition that when applied in a thin layer dries solid. It's mostly used to protect color or provide texture to objects such as wood, plastic, glass, fabric, etc. It can be purchased in many different colors, and it has about 10 different types. For example, acrylic, oil pastel, fresco, tempera, watercolor, etc. Um, Most of the time, it's sold liquid and it dries solid. Um, as far as the components go, there are three different components: the resin, if I'm pronouncing it correctly, the pigment, and the solvent. In terms of the resin, um, it's known to be the binder, and it's what holds the paints together. For instance, it's kind of like when you're making macaroni and cheese and you put the egg in there. And the reason why you put the egg in there is because the egg, once cooked, holds the macaroni and cheese, the noodles and the cheese together. Otherwise, if it wasn't in there, once you bake it, it would just be all loose. That's what you can kind of, as far as an example of the resin will be for paint, how the egg is for macaroni and cheese. The pigment, on the other hand, is the colorant, and it's what gives the paints the different colors. Um, the amount of pigment that is placed into the paint determines how opaque or translucent the paint will be, which can also be determined by using water and acrylic paint to kind of dilute the color. The last thing is the solvent, which helps the paint flow and be smooth when it's applied. Now, there obviously can be different kind of solvents because not all paints are applied smoothly. Some of them have textured grit, sand, etc. in them. Um, in general, paint is basically what makes the world colorful. Um, I will refer to it as kind of like a color because although clothes are not painted, they are supplied with um, pigments, um, which is what is used in paint. Um, and depending on the type of fabric you use, the solvent could be smooth or textured. Um, in general, the resin, the pigment, and the solvent all work together to compose a beautiful composition that is used worldwide and has been used for a very long time, as the video suggests. Um, and it's used of people of all ages, and it's kind of used um, now and has been to kind of relay a message, as Nathan said in his lecture, to people. Like, people use it now. Paint has become a tool that people use to relay messages that people of different languages may not otherwise understand without the paint being used. Um, I think the overall function, besides being to create messages, it's used for expression, um, express emotions physically, um, and as far as abstract emotionally. Um, and I think in modern times, it's also being used as a therapeutic type method for not only sane people, but people who depression, um, people with learning disabilities. It's kind of used as a coping method as well. Um, Me personally, I love painting. I love specifically painting houses. I'm doing it as a part of my senior seminar project. And it's kind of one of those things that allows me to forget everything in the world. And through my paintings, I'm able to relay messages sometimes, and at other times, I get messages from people who look at them. So that's about it.